pirates are starting to really push in here. Oh, they got mortars. Damn it. There lies in the problem. I have absolutely no idea what the pirates are doing here. That's why we're going to take the fight to them. Actually, let's pull 3 regiments off the line here. We're going to go and take the fight to them. We've got to take some risks here. We need this island under our control as quickly as possible. Mod Knights of St. John campaign, and this, my friends, how we left it last time. And once again the council has absolutely come up with some wonderful plans, some wonderful advice. The first of it is this: first, we should replenish this army as quickly as possible, but also once the royal palace is fully repaired, we should then start or quickly recruit at least, well, luckily we've got 3 recruitment slots here, at least 3 sort of regiments of garrison troops, and then quickly, as quickly as possible, move across here from Antigua into Trinidad and Tobago. I think the pirates have actually increased the garrison forces here. We have hit the port here, Port de España here, and what we are going to do initially, we were going to take Trinidad and Tobago initially, but we moved to take the Leeward Islands because it gave us a much higher yield here, as you can see from the sugar plantation here. We're also dismantling this shipyard and making it into a trading port. We need the money from the New World. Now, there was also, many of you said, many of the council said that we should move in and try and take the Bahamas and Jamaica here, these sort of British colonies as it were, and also right up here as well. You've got Rupert's Land up here as well, which actually could be very, very good asset for us to take, because they've got a commercial port here in Fort Albany. We don't have anything up here. We can't recon out here. We can't reconnaissance here at all. So we are in a bit of a dark what's happening here. But France has a firm grip here of most of Canada and also some of North America. 13 colonies, of course, are the mainstay here. We've got the Cherokee Nation, but as you can see, Spain is starting to move in here against 13 colonies. But ideally, what most of the council have been saying is we need to find out what's going on here in the Bahamas. Could these be our sort of next foray into sort of pastures new, as it were, lands anew? But as you can see here, the British are well prepared here for any sort of invasion. They've got quite the comprehensive force here. We would have to completely restructure our forces here to be able to deal with this. Cannon, of course, which we don't have. We don't have howitzers. They've got sort of course like colonial infantry, which we can deal with. Buccaneers we can deal with as well, but they've also got outnumbers here in terms of cavalry. And we need to see what's going on in Bahamas here as well. We'll also discuss something else that's going on at the moment as well. So you can see, let's quickly just scout, reconnoiter here the Bahamas. As you can see as well, my friends, now that's mostly militia and buccaneers. Now that wouldn't be so much of a problem. They don't have any cavalry, so a cavalry heavy force supported with some cannons and some line infantry would probably be able to deal with the Bahamas here. But of course they do have the reserve force here of these, quite a substantial reserve force. So again, they've got at least a half-stack army here in reserve. So again, this wouldn't be easy. This would probably be a pretty big commitment on our part for what would be not very much income. And of course, as you can see here, New Spain is at war with Britain, and that is an absolute boon for us. Now what we have to do, of course, is see, because they're getting 950 here from there. If we blockade this port here, we've effectively sealed off all of their trade income from the New World here. We have to try and take the fight to Britain. As many of you said, put the squeeze on Britain as much as you can. Now, of course, we don't have the resources really to really take the fight to Britain in a sort of colossal way as it is. But we do have New Spain. New Spain is our greatest ace in the hole here, as it were. It really is our ace up our sleeve here. As you can see, New Spain are bitter enemies with Britain here. And just a quick look at that. They are not the protectorates anymore of Spain. They are allies with Spain, but Spain no longer controls them. The income coming into New Spain is entirely for them alone. It is not going off to Spain to sort of, give Spain the backup there at all. It's not going into Spanish coffers. It is staying with New Spain, and this is why, if you just quickly hear, their power is terrifying, and they're very, very rich indeed from the lands they have here. We're very friendly with them. I want to try and get an alliance with them, because if we had an alliance with New Spain, particularly in the New World here, that would be of a great boon to us. But no, of course, we don't really have enough to offer them at the moment. Now, the trade partners are effectively ours. We've got the Ottoman Empire, which is, of course, pretty good at the moment. And, of course, they're enemies of Great Britain. Now, that means they're probably going to be able to keep Great Britain under lock and key for the most part here. Of course, they do have very powerful fleets here within the Caribbean here. Of course, they've also at war with the Dutch. As you can see, they're trying to keep the Dutch pinned in here as well. But as you can look at that, I mean, look at the force they got here. That is a monumental force there. And they obviously got agents in here as well, indeed. So as you can see here, we do have New Spain not as an ally, but as close as we possibly can to an ally. That's going to serve us very, very well indeed. Excuse me, my friends. And also, they've got this navy here starting to build up here in Veracruz here. So I would imagine if we don't see potentially the possibility of New Spain hitting Britain by itself, or even taking maybe some of these Dutch islands of Punda. Now really what we'd like here is if France was to collapse, I know it's a thing that might not happen, but if France was to collapse, to move into these Dutch Guiana and French Guiana, because these two regions here are the absolute powerhouse here in terms of the trade income. These would boost our trade to the point where we would be able to deal with Britain ourselves. We really, really would. The trade from that would be phenomenal. But again, we have to focus on what we've got here. We're going to attempt to move in as soon as these forces are replenished here, which shouldn't be too long, because remember, we didn't take very many casualties. We're also going to recruit quite heavily, so we're going to recruit three garrison units of probably African musketeers militia to keep the populace under control. We're then going to hop across here and take Trinidad and Tobago as quickly as we possibly can. Now, I know there's some of you a little bit irked that we didn't take the fight to Britain here, particularly in Ireland. Now, I know that Britain seems quite weak at the moment, but I can pretty much guarantee you, my friends, that Britain is very well defended, particularly Ireland here. We can assume for the moment that they have a massive amount of forces here. Now, they may be sort of not sort of the power we thought of. They even get the dry dock here upgraded, so of course they're not short of money just yet. As you can see, London is very, very well upgraded, and also, as you can see here, so is Edinburgh, so they are not without their sort of firepower, as it were, in the right places. Let's have a quick look here at who they're at war with, just so we can... Now, they're at war with Prussia, New Spain, ourselves, and the pirates. Their allies are United Provinces and Portugal. So again, look at that, look at that. The Dutch have retaken Brussels here, but I think that's the French hitting back here. So I wouldn't write off France, but if Paris falls, we must be ready to try and take French Guiana, because that will fall into rebel hands. We must be prepared to strike there, because if we can get Dutch or French Guiana, it would just give us the boost we need here. Now, as many of you said, we have to be careful here what we're doing. They have some replenished these forces at all here, but I believe they've increased the number of forces they've got here. I believe that has gone up. So yes, they've got howitzers here as well. So we're going to have to do ourselves, be prepared possibly for the appearance of additional British forces here. We have to start increasing our own forces here. And also, another suggestion was to every other turn increase our naval power here as well. And that means probably investing in a ship here we can get, which is the 4th ship rate of the line here. That'll probably be our heaviest caliber warship, but as you can see, it does cost a hefty coin to do so. And also, many of you are saying upgrade the port here. But we need here division of labour, and that's going to cost us 2,500. But again, it would open up additional trade routes. So we're going to try and move our research to that. Also, research for canister shot, and indeed for common land enclosures was also recommended as well. But we're trying to get military syllabus. It is vital we get this so we can open up drill school. Drill school will give us additional elite forces of grenadiers, African infantry guards, and Royal Cairo infantry guards. Those three will really push our claim here for hitting Britain. Remember, we're trying to build here. We can't be expanding sort of exponentially here at great cost. We have to balance the economy. We've got to keep an eye on Morocco as well, because Morocco is building forces here. I'm surprised that Spain hasn't hit Morocco yet. Mind you, they are pretty much locked down here in a fight with Portugal, which they haven't subjugated yet. And also their income isn't that great, to be honest with you. New Spain is actually doing much better than their former masters. But I think we can end this turn, my friends. 4 turns. Luckily we've got 3 gentlemen in Bajaya here. As you can see, 3 gentlemen researchers, so that's drastically reduced the amount of time it takes to research. I think we're going to try and get fire by rank. I know that's unavailable at the moment to us, probably because we need to get drill school. Indeed, once we get drill school, we can then open up these options here, especially fire by rank, which will help us no end. It really will. But I think we can do, that's all we can do. We've got to keep an eye on Britain here, because Britain's started to expand this army down here, and we've got to do the same. We must match this army down here. We cannot be caught here on the hop at all. Right, let's end the turn, my friends, and see what happens here. For nothing from Britain, France. Steady, gentlemen. Now, I think France are going for the Ottomans. Now, we've cancelled trade with the Ottomans. Now, many of you said, Mala, try and open up a brand new trade route with the Ottomans if you can. Because it looks like they might have cleared their ports of... Oh, someone's taken a hit there from Spain. They might have repaired their ports, I beg your pardon. As you can see, also, it was said that Ottomans have had a revolution. That's why we've had the change of flag here. There could be a constitutional monarchy there. There could be another absolute monarchy there. There could be a republic even now, where you have still sort of democratic voting. Democracy has arrived in full effect. Is that a possibility? Or it might just be much of the muchness, as it were. But we're going to keep our eye on what's going on here with the Ottomans, because it is intriguing what's going on with them. Russia, who are, you know, fighting or on the border of Ottoman territory. Again, we have to keep our eyes open here what's happening with the Ottomans. If they collapse, can we jump in there? But if France collapses against the Dutch might, can we grab the Guyana there? Whoa, that's a massive force there. Also, is recommended that we may be able to send troops and help the Maratha Confederacy against the Mughal Empire. Now, that was... You know, I really do love those sort of they've blocked the trade, which means that's going to hit us really hard here. I just wish that the Maratha Confederacy would do something about this, because now we're going to be in trouble. Oh. Now we can't afford... Oh my goodness me. Now we cannot afford to build the port that we needed here. I just wish that the Maratha Confederacy would deal with the Mughal Empire once and for all. And now they've also taken back Ujjain here. They've taken Malwa back off them here, and they're hitting them here. Now, where was that force going? I wish they were going to take Calcutta and just take Bengal and claim it for themselves and remove once again these... Because every time this is hit here, it just drags us down further and further and further. It really does. We need to get that other port open, but until we do, we're at the mercy of so many others. It really is. New Spain. Are the Ottomans friendly with us, but do they have their ports open? Otherwise we would cancel the trade agreement we have with the Maratha Confederacy, because it's just so fickle. I suppose there's only one way for us to find out. Right, they've repaired this. they've also got their own... Oh, look at that. Now they're starting to build up some. They've also repaired this as well. I wonder if we have a new Spain again. I wonder if we open up new trade here with the Ottomans. If we cancel the trade agreement with the Maratha Confederacy, or if we can open up a trade agreement. I wonder if we can get peace. Let's try and get peace with Britain. No, they're not. They're not. No. They're unfriendly, so that means it's coming down here, the war. They don't want war with us all the time. If we can get peace with Britain, it would give us a little bit of a breathing space. But now if they've opened... Oh, good grief. If they've opened up their trade ports again, that really is going to suit us very well here. And that... Oh, my goodness me. That's a nice army there. Right, we can only hope. And once again, we're at the mercy of other nations until we get this trade. We need the money to get this trade up and running here. We can just hope that New Spain stays in there. That's blockaded here. We're trying to keep the British hemmed in here. Okay, let's end the turn. That's all we can do. We can't do anything. We're going to be... Yes, we're going to be bankrupt. I know we're going to be bankrupt. There's nothing we can do about it. We just hope the Maratha Confederacy gets its act together. Otherwise, we should cancel the agreement with them. We'll go with the Ottomans. Looks like New Spain is reinforcing the blockade of Portugal. What will they do here, the Ottomans? Well, my friends, that took a very, very long time, that Russian... Oh no, they've left the British port there. That could give us a few problems there. We can only hope. Ah, they've left by their own accord. Wonderful. But Oh dear. Oh dearie dearie me. We seem to be in a lot of trouble here. Why have the Mughal Empire, the Marathans, they haven't repaired it, that's why. We've pushed them out here. I'm wondering if we might have to cancel the agreement we've had with these and open up the trade agreement with the Ottomans. I think that's all we're going to have to do here, because we just cannot take that. We're very friendly with them, but I think we'll have to cancel this agreement here. And we're going to have to open up one with the Ottoman Empire. If we can get one. Yes! Oh, thank goodness for that. And that has saved our beacon there. We are going to start losing troops here if we're not careful. Men will start to desert. But thankfully, because we've opened up this here with the Ottomans. Now, will we have road... Will they come through the road here? I don't think so. I believe it's probably going to come... Yeah, Knights of St. John. So it's going to come through this way here. And again, we're going to have to assess the situation as we see fit here. But hopefully, this will give us chance. This money here will allow us then to build the port here. Of course, we've had to adapt to the situation again. And of course, now Britain doesn't have... Well, this has been hit, is not now been removed from New Spain. They've now removed themselves from here. We can only hope that Britain doesn't come for us here. There's a chance they might do, but hopefully New Spain will deal with them as it is. But we can't do much else here, I'm afraid. We've got 2 more turns until we've got the military syllabus. Let's end the turn and let's see what happens. The Russian turn took an exceptionally long time. So you might see quite a big edit there, my friends. France. I'm not sure what France is up to, but I know that the Dutch really are moving out with great vigour against France. If France collapses, we might have to adjust our plans. Prussia. Let's see how the Ottomans do here. Hopefully the Ottomans can stay in control of their own trade lines here. We can finally get our new world trade lines up and running. That is what we need to see. Are those trade lines running at full pelt? That is what we shall do. Russia, again, will this be a more speedy resolution? But why were they... Hang on, is that the Ottomans have moved in there? The Ottomans have actually pushed the Russians back. Look at that, my friends. I think the Ottomans have actually pushed the Russians back here. Could we see a resurgence in the Ottoman Empire? Can we see that resurgence? Oh, well done, you Spain. Look at the size of the fleets they've got available to them. Can we bring Britain to its knees even? With the help of New Spain. Those pirate fiends. Yes, 1352. Thank you. Whew, 1675. It's not as much as we had coming in previously from the because remember we've lost the bonus we had here. We had a bonus. You get a bonus here, as you can see here. Now a bonus is 998 for New Spain. We've lost that bonus we had with the Maratha Confederacy, but we should gain it. As you can see, that's nearly 1,000 bonus there. So that's what we had there. But let's quickly look here, make sure we haven't lost any troops here from... No, we haven't. Now we need to quickly, as quickly as we possibly can here, get this trade port up here. Now that doesn't leave us very much, but again, we have got these now. What's the... Oh, look at that, they're increasing that there. They're getting a royal palace. We don't have the facilities here. Now, has this come under control? Not quite yet. If we move out, we're going to find ourselves in a rebellion.
Sì, mio sire. Levare l'ancora. Ordini ricevuti, capitano. Pronti a virare. Spiegare le vele.
Let's crush this.
Ordini ricevuti. Ordini, capitano. Muoviamoci.
Now we could move this army out here and take this island, but we don't have the money yet to really build any or to recruit any more troops. And therein lies our problem. Oh, New Spain are out in force, which is great to see. We need to cut off this amount here of Britain. We can't give them anything here at all. Look at that, they're on the prowl there, New Spain. Wonderful to see. We've got to cut off this amount here, this income here. We've hit the pirates again. They're building a royal palace here, but we've got to wait. We don't have the ability yet to build or to recruit those troops which we need to hold down the fort here, as it were. We've only got 2 slots here available. We have to get 2 African, and we have to send this force then immediately across here and get this trade port open as well. Whew, a lot of things to consider here. Britain still haven't got control of this. France, how are France doing here? Let's have a look what's happening here in this war in Europe. I've got a feeling that the Dutch are going to start hitting the French here pretty hard eventually. Now they've sort of captured the main sort of central part of Western Europe here. Let's have a look here. Yes, indeed, look at that. They've taken Georgia from the Russians here. So it looks like the Ottomans are pushing quite aggressively here against their enemies. They really are quite the powerhouse here at the moment. They've got a drill school. And they're able to recruit some very, very nice forces indeed. Thankfully, they're able to look after themselves here without any problems. They've obviously quite clearly can be held, have good defensive formations here. Britain still hasn't repaired this at all, but they're building walls here. They're putting the investment here into fortification. That's fine. Looks like they're going to try and dig in there. We've got a lot to do with a very limited amount of money here. But if we move from Antigua here and try and take this, we'll lose Antigua to a rebellion, which means we'll be ferrying troops back and forth here. Let's end the turn. I know this is not much action at the moment, but this is the things we have to do here to try and get ourselves established. Once we've got our trade established here, it should link quite nicely here into this overall trade lines we've got here. The problems is... Hang on, something else just fell then too. Poland. Ottoman Empire. We could see the resurgence here, the rebirth of a very powerful Ottoman Empire, and that wouldn't do us any harm at all. We're allied with them, remember. So any power they gain, we will sort of have that sort of, in inverted commas, reflected glory back. We will have that reflected power back upon us because we're an ally of theirs. So any gains they make militarily or economically, we will also get further down the line. It will trickle down to us. Looks like Russia hasn't responded yet. Rather Confederacy. Maybe we can open up another trade route here now with them. But we've got a lot to do with limited funds, and that's the problem we face. Until we can establish... Luckily we don't have any trade with the Spanish. Will that trigger the Spanish to finally deal with the Moroccans? Which ideally is what they need to do. The pirates are wonderful. 1525, 1626 here. Minus 5 recruitment cost. Now that's what we're talking about here. That is a wonderful sight. Got these gentlemen on the move here. What's New Spain up to here? Are they? No, they've moved out from hitting the Dutch here. They're quite clearly moving somewhere else. Did we see something else falling here? Poland have taken Michigan. Now, let's have a look at our research here. I know many of you said we don't need carbines just yet. We do need to get a drill school. We can't afford a drill school just yet. I think we'll get common land enclosures as was recommended. Only going to take 2 turns. And how's our recruitment here? 3722 hasn't gone up here, but hopefully, can we get... Still building here. One more turn, and then we'll have the trade port open here. This will connect here. Hopefully then we'll be able to link into this trade and sort of absorb some of the trade here as well. Then we're going to try and move in here. Let's have a quick look here at what's happening. Here with the pirates. We've just got to keep an eye on what they're doing here.
Ancora in perfetta efficienza.
Still damaged, and they're still building that royal palace.
Ufficiale sul ponte.
Again, we're going to keep hitting Britain here. We cannot allow them to have any income at all. We've got to try and keep... Oh, look at that. And the pirates are back there. How is Britain here doing? We don't know anything about Britain at all. We don't even know how much money they got coming in. But I'd imagine the British economy itself is pretty prosperous, as you can see here. They're not going to be losing any sleep over us, I don't think, anytime soon. I know France and the Dutch are getting on here. Again, it's not our concern. We must maintain our discipline here. We don't have much money here. We've got to try and save some more money up if possible. Luckily we didn't start losing any troops. Mind you, we've got our troops are going to cost us less now, 5% less. We've got to try and get this growth of trade coming in. How's our trade with the Ottomans doing now? We've got plus 72. It's 1,029 now with New Spain. If we can get that bonus here as well with the Ottoman Empire, we will really see a massive improvement in our situation. But hopefully this new trade port coming in soon now will help us. Let's end the turn. That's what we're looking for. Austria. Oh, what are your provinces? Looks like there's a bit of a tussle going on here between the Dutch and the French. Looks like they're looking for somebody. Oh, look at that. They've sent them packing there. What a fight that is between the Spanish and the Dutch. Wow. Let them fight it out. We're keeping ourselves away from that war. Poland, Lithuania, Ottoman Empire. It's good to see the Ottomans got the ships moving in and about here. We need to see that strength from them. Russia. How will it respond? Will it respond? Dutch going here? The Marathons. We're going to see how that fight is going there. Have they retaken Malwa there? Oh, look at that. They're going to hit that port again. That's as well we've pulled out of that agreement with them. Just as well, otherwise we'd be... Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Venice and France as well. Look at that. Ooh. Genoa and France are fighting each other. This is a brutal campaign here. Yes, at last. 1991. 2314. Look at that. 546 here. Will this give us additional trade here? It hasn't given us additional trade routes. But it's enabled us to actually tap into this trade line here. Plus with management of army administration. Excellent. Now, have we got this under control here? We do indeed. But only because we've got this army, these forces here. Now let's have a quick look here what we've got here. Don't tell me they've repaired that already. And they have as well. We've got to take the chance here. We're going to recruit 2 more here, and then we're going to take the fight to them. Now if we pull out of here... -5, we could get a rebellion there. So in that case we'll have to leave. Now they haven't got that like that. So like cavalry here. We don't have anybody that's going to deal with that. I think we'll leave these behind as well. It's -4, but it should be reduced. We've got to take this risk. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one, because remember how we did before. They've got those mortars which are an absolute menace to us. It really is. We have to take the fight to them. And they really did maul us quite severely last time. But we've got to take the fight to them. 1461 here. 153. We outnumber them. We've got the troops. We've got outnumber them troops. And we also got the cavalry, which is definitely going to be... We're going to hold them here into siege. This is going to be the problem here. If they get angry with us here. We've exempted them from tax. We cannot afford... Hopefully if we get more troops in here, this will bring it down. 859 here. We don't have any. We've got 238, 2308 coming in here. Probably because our trade, yes, starting to grow here, and that's starting to grow really well here. Hopefully New Spain can hold on to what they've got here and indeed keep growing. Indeed they are. That's wonderful. The pirates have hit here. We haven't got this, so they've actually got money now. The British have got money coming in here. 1260. Can we get peace with Britain, I wonder? Let's see if we can negotiate peace here. Let's just try request peace, and with technology. Oh, they're unfriendly with us, which is fine. Maybe, just maybe, eventually they will come around to looking at peace, but we're not going to worry about that just now. We've moved in here against the pirates, surrender in 2 turns. We've got a battle coming up as well. But can we grab these 2 islands here right off the bat? Let's have a look at the Marathons here and what they're up to. That port has been hit again by the Mughal Empire, but they've retaken Malwa here. So the Maratha Convention isn't over yet. Maybe if we can open up some more trade lines, maybe we can... But again, with the fighting they've got going on here, we had to break the alliance with them, the trade agreement with here, because look, they keep getting hit all the time. And we'd have lost every time we'd have been bankrupt every other turn. It's good to see the Ottomans really holding strong here. It really is wonderful to see. Are they upgrading any of their towns here? I can only hope, yes they are. That's great. Absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant to see your ally, recruiting and upgrading here, because it means they're getting stronger, which means they can hold out against much, much tougher opposition. Yeah, they're really starting to invest well in their infrastructure, which is what we need. The more they get, the more money we'll get from them. By de facto, look at that there. They've been... Oh, look at that. Russia's hitting the shipyard here. Abundant yield. Classical university as well. They're starting to invest in their cities, which is great to see. It really is. Long may that continue. A strong ally of ours. If we could take Tripoli, we'd have direct access, land access to their economy as well. 4197, so that's jumped quite extensively there. And also our trade from here is 10,000 now. That's gone up. Excellent to see. I think we might have a battle soon. We're going to have to be very, very savvy with this battle here. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Britain has hit our only trade we got coming in there. Got to kick them out from there. There's the war here in New World is going to be stupendous. We'll kick them out from there. We'll just move them out from there, and we'll repair that port. Ottomans. What are they doing here? Are they moving troops into position? Ah, they've got their own fleet, which is great to see. Oh, they're hitting Spain. Russia. Drats, they're going to hit them. They're going to draw off a lot of trade from there. They'll be hitting the Ottoman Empire trade. Oh, well, no, that will actually not affect the Ottoman Empire. This will be probably other allies, possibly Spanish assets. Sweden. Looks like that the Russians are really hitting home there, trying to hit the trade lines there, which is not going to be good for us, especially if they're raiding one of our possibly New Spain, but we're not sure there. Oh, look at the size of New Spain's fleet. That is massive. Absolutely huge. Oh, wow, Spain are taking an absolute... Oh, that's the Venetians. I was wondering, I thought... Okay, that's fine, they're on strike. We still got 2360 here. 14435. Now we need just to quickly... Oh, it's under control. That's absolutely wonderful to see. Ah, we cannot boot them out of there because they've got that. We cannot do anything about that. Looks like the British have got a grip on that there. We can't do anything there unless we move against the British. So that's cut off there until the British decide to move out of there. But we still got 0 there. What if we do that? That's -4, so we can't do that just yet. But we'll have 235 coming in there, which is fine. So it looks like that trade has been cut off there. Unless we send in... Mind you, that's a 5th rater. We're trying to take these. Hopefully Britain will do something about it. We cannot move out of here and try and take this back because we cannot move to the island there. What we can do is move I think we might move 2 of our ships into the region here. I think we're going to move 2 privateers into there. I think we're going to take the plunge here and try and guard our New World assets into the Americas. We're sending 2 privateers. And we're going to actually build another one to replenish. And we're also going to continue our recruitment here as well. 148309 1419. So again we'll have 2,000 here again is building up here, but we've got to try and be able to, you know, really guard our assets. We've got to take the fight to the British wherever we can. We've got the Leopold here. What's the income here? 3992, that's dropped. America's been cut off. Because of the British, what's the income there? 149, that's growing steadily there. If we can get out to 1,000, it will see our trade increase wonderfully well there, it really will. They've got a lot of trade coming through the Mediterranean here, a huge amount of trade coming from the Mediterranean. If we'd be able to hit this line here with the British, it would be fantastic. But we're going to guard our own assets here. We've moved 2 ships into the area. We can see if we can deal with this British fleet here. And we're going to leave a sort of our 2 combat vessels are going to be left here. Or we might even have one here and one here. But if we can leave a vessel in here, we can quickly keep at this this fleet here free. And we're trying to move in against here as well. Hopefully now the pirates will come out and we can take this fight. Damn the British there for doing that. Damn their hides. We can't get any more trade with anybody else because we don't have the ability to do so yet. Right, let's end the turn again. Let's see what happens here. We're relying effectively on New Spain to try and just keep things under control up to a point. We know we're going to get raided by the British. We know we're going to get hit by Britain. We have to also accept the fact that sometimes we have to send our limited resources to the New World to try and deal with these things. Ottomans. Come on, our Ottomans. We want them to remain strong. It's vital that they remain strong for us. Now they're reading, looks like they're reading the Spanish line here. If we take Tripoli, we would probably direct route, a direct land line here. An overland trade route with the Ottomans. I think Tripoli might be on our radar here. Oh, I don't believe it. Russia's on the move again. If they take this port here, we're in trouble. Russia's obviously moved from the Crimea outwards here. Oh, look at that. New Spain is taking this trade port, which means we're going to get additional money coming in as well from them. Mughal Empire. Venice. Courland Pirates. Oh, look at that. They've decided to come out here. And this, my friends, is the fight we're going to take next episode. I don't think they haven't taken any damage here yet that I can see. But I think we've got enough here. We immediately have to really hit. We have to pull right back to avoid those 8-inch mortars. And I mean right out of the way. Let the pirates come on us. And if possible, move our cavalry around from different angles to try and take them. The cavalry is going to be key to this fight. We've got enough forces here to deal with the pirates. Light infantry and that ourselves. They are quite, the morale is pretty good here actually. The flint firelocks armed citizens of the mob here aren't going to be there, but these pirate mob, the light infantry, they're nothing to be sniffed at. They're pretty good. But we've just got to do this very, very well. If we can do this, if we can take this island here, we have set ourselves up a nice little enclave here, a nice little enclave in the Caribbean. I know that Britain has hit us here. We're going to have those 2 ships coming into aid here and trying to remove this British threat, open up the trade line again for us. Then if we can do the same here and open up the trade port and connect to this trade line here, we'll have possibly about 1,000 gold going back to Malta, back to the Orders homeland there, and that really will be a huge boost to us. But this is the fight we're going to take next time, my friends. The next episode we're going to see this fight. The very first thing we do is take this fight here. The fight of Trinidad and Tobago is going to be a crucial fight because it might determine where our campaign goes. If the more trade we get, the more money we got here, the better it'll be. We've now established a brand new trade agreement with the Ottomans. If we can upgrade these ports here eventually with our research increasing, we might then be able to really push the boat out a bit and try and get additional trade agreements with other partners. But at the moment, we are where we are. We've got to deal with everything that comes our way, step by step here, my friends. And then bit by bit, we will eventually get to where we need to be. And Britain will be our main target. I know that those of you want us to fight Britain and take Britain on head to head. We will do so, but at the moment we don't have the strength. We really are absolutely stretched at the moment. As you can see, bankruptcy is only a trade blockade away, so we have to be very, very careful. But I hope you've enjoyed this, my friends. If you are, please keep your comments coming down below. Your comments have been absolutely fantastic, and the reason this campaign is where it is because of you. You've helped to really set this campaign alight, to set the campaign where it is at the moment. We've looked at the Bahamas, we've looked at the sort of the British assets they've got there, and at the moment they would be able to hold the Bahamas and that quite easily in Jamaica. They do have a lot of assets there, a lot of armies there. But who knows what the future might bring to us. We might be able to start shipping in additional forces into these islands here. We might be able to raise the army. We need at least a full stack army and some more. But ideally we want to get a drill school up if we can, build a drill school up and get that on, and that's going to be able to produce grenadiers and the sort of the elite African and Egyptian guards we need. Maybe we can get an army together with those in them. If we can get a full stack army with those in it and some cannons, some cavalry as well, get a good composition, then we're going to take the fight to the British and really take one of their islands in the Caribbean here from them. But that is for a future episode, my friends. The first thing we're going to do next episode is fight and take Trinidad and Tobago from the pirates. We need to do this. But I hope you've enjoyed this, my friends, and if you have, again, please keep your comments coming down below. They've been absolutely fantastic, and we only are where we are because of you, my friends. But I hope you're having a great week thus far. Please be safe whatever you're doing. But until next time, my friends, bye for now.